Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain, back for some more Dungeons and Dragons online. So again, we're here in Lord's March Plaza. Again, you can access this from the marketplace, the harbor, or the 12. The quest giver is Tolis Calamore. Now, in order to have this guy as a quest giver, you do need to complete the two prior quests. From Naleen and then from Gavin over there. Once you've completed both the Diplomatic Impunity and Framework quests, you will be able to talk to this guy and start the quest for the Eyes of Stone. Now he is the quest giver. We just having a little bit of door lag here. Alright. So, all you gotta do is step right in and go on from there. Now, one thing with this quest, they've changed it up a little bit from when it was first released. They used to have a major bug in this quest, being if you didn't talk to Tolis at the beginning of the quest here, that you wouldn't actually be able to complete the quest. So to avoid that, obviously you want to make 100% sure you talk to him right now before you do anything. From here you want to proceed west, and you're going to kind of run into a small little ambush. Nothing really too major. Oh, 63, very nice. And then once they're dealt with, you're going to want to head on through the door into the plaza here. Moment you step inside, directly to your left you are going to have this individual. All you got to do is talk to them. You don't actually have to pick any of these options. Once you just initiate that conversation, it gives you the next part. So from here, you're going to want to head straight through, continuing west. And this is our library, or the archives. Inside here there is going to be some enemies, as well. There are also going to be a whole lot of traps. Now, it's easy to know where the traps are, and that will be with these exploding barrels. When you shoot the exploding barrel, it will set off the basically fire suppression system, which is a giant cold trap. There are two ways to disable these. You can disable them one by one, which does give you count for trap disabled. The other option is there is actually a lever in the northwestern corner that will fully disable all of them at once. If you do pull that lever, you can still go back and disable these control panels. There just won't necessarily be a trap attached to them. So it's definitely a lot safer. I highly recommend, when you get to that point, just pulling the lever and saving yourself the hassle. The other thing to keep your eye out while you're going through this section is it's actually going to be on a small little desk style table, and it will have a small little strong box, which is actually right there. There we go. And inside the strong box, it is going to have a flesh to stone salve. Now you definitely want to drag that to your quick bar, as you will be using it quite a lot in order to free some of these stoned individuals. So there's our fire control lever.
A distant voice intones. Fire control system deactivated.
So that it will now disable all of them at once. So now at this point we just need to get enough. To get us our full trap bonus. This section here, the giant roundabout, it does contain all of the traps in this quest. So you will be able to get the full ingenious disable bonus from this section alone. And there we are. Now, obviously you can get more, but at that point it's just for the trap parts. Alright. So, the other thing to keep your eye out for are these individuals who are turned to stone. And you just want to use your fleshed salve on them. It'll unfreeze them. And we got to get a total of 12 guards. So there'll be 1 in this roundabout. There was 3 back here when we had first entered this section that you can free. Another thing to point out is these stone to flesh salves, they have drastically reduced the cooldown timer on its use to 5 seconds. It used to have, I believe, a 30-second cooldown timer, which just made it very, very annoying, especially in this section here with the multiples. With the now reduced cooldown, makes it so much easier, so much faster, and easy enough for one person to do. Alright, now from this room, we do want to head south through the door to the lower offices. And again, we're going to have a couple of guards. Now, freeing these guards, they will also actually assist you in fighting. So as you see, they're charging headlong here. So they do have a purpose, unlike most quests where the guards, once freed, they just kind of stand around, do nothing. These guys will actually assist you in fighting. Unfortunately, they won't follow you. They're just going to kind of stick around where they were as their statue form.
A series of improvised magical barriers prevents you from continuing down this hallway.
So now we're going to head up the stairs here. And you want to head all the way to the end where these gentlemen are coming out of. And we're actually going to have a whole bunch of secret doors. Now these doors will lead us to all the side rooms, which will contain which will contain our 4 coin lords that we do need to rescue. As well, this desk right here does have a lever attached to it. definitely make sure that you flick that lever there. Otherwise, you'll just have to come back for it. So I typically head off to the left first, heading down and around, and again, this is where you'll get the rest of your secret doors. Coming in from the back also has additional benefits. As you see, we were able to get right up to the boss guy there. Whereas if we had entered in from the door here, which we are able to do, the fight would start immediately. So this gives you a couple of moments to prepare for the fight. Set up a turret or, you know, disco ball or however you want to prepare yourself for that fight. But it gives you that little bit of setup time. Alright, so now that we have these two, we're going to head back around. And now we're going to head through these doors. Now first right away, we do have a locked chest. This locked chest can actually contain some named armors. So if you're looking for that, there you are. So again, more of the same. One chest. And now we're on to our last one. And essentially each of these rooms here with these guys, they do have an element attached to each one. And then heading this way, our last guy to save would also be Yorick, which once freed, if we actually talk to them, this is where they'll mention about the lever to pull, which we've already done. And they also give you the optional to close the secret entrance in the palace. From here, we want to head to the northern section on the top, and it'll actually let us bypass those windy barriers that were pushing us back before, and now proceed to the upper audience chamber. As soon as you enter in, both to the left and to the right, you will be under attack from, there'll just be one guy on either side, so it's nothing major. And you want to actually head around to this door here on our eastern side, so off to the right. This will be the door to proceed through. However, if you continue heading around, there are a few breakables, a guy to kill, as well as some shrines here on the western side of the room. If obviously you don't need the shrines, you can, and you're not looking for the breakables, you can proceed directly through the door here to the upper plaza. Now, once you head here, we're back into the main entrance. This is where Tolis from the start would actually disappear. So if you hadn't talked to him before this point, the quest would bug. You'd no longer be able to talk to him, but it would still ask you to talk to him in order to complete the quest. So it kind of puts you to stalemate there. Alright, so there are a couple of points to mention at this here. We have our courtyard gate lever, which will open up the doors. If we head all the way north, we can see these guys here. However, they're going to slam a gate shut on us before we actually get to them.
Perhaps there is another entrance.
So the only way to proceed is actually through these two doors here that they just opened. And as you can see, the courtyard is now full of enemies. Which have various spawn locations. So as we approach this side, as you see, these couple of guys spawned in. Alright, so now at this point, if you're looking to just continue on with the quest, you want to head up that set of northern steps there. However, the southern set of stairs has an optional up top. So we're going to head up there. And at the top of both of them, there is going to be a small group of enemies. Nothing too major, but they kind of catch you off guard if you're not expecting it. And the casters themselves are they're just annoying as always.
Can be heard from inside the building.
So the optional is just through the door, and we want to take out Mangle. Now, if we actually fight him and drag him over here from the beginning, all you have to fight is the troll. If, however, we go into that side room over there, which is where his chest is located, it is going to have a few more enemies to deal with. So just be prepared either to deal with the little bit of trash, or just drag him out and then deal with them. Once we're done, we want to backtrack back to that main room and then head up the northern set of stairs. Which are now leading almost towards the end of the quest. So there are a lot of sections where you can definitely cut time. Obviously heading down that southern path to get the optional there, you can definitely cut that out if you're looking to add that little bit faster run. Alright. Now, right through the door here, we're going to have a whole bunch of kobolds. And apparently Carnage Reaper. We're also, as you see, a whole bunch of exploding barrels. So, just be careful that, obviously, you don't get hit by any of the exploding barrels. Alright, the next spot to save a little bit of time, if you're going for that fast completion, is you want to actually head left, heading west. That will lead you to the end of the quest. If, however, you continue north, this is the optional to close the secret entrance of the palace. So we're going to proceed through the door, and we want to first kill off the enemies here. Really dislike Plague Reapers. They make it so that you can't be healed. Alright. And this part here is actually an endless respawn room. Now, they're
Crumbling
going to
hole in the
constantly
floor shows
respawn
how the monsters
from this
impact the
hole
ground
right here.
shifts as chunks of the roof fall to the ground.
In order to
It appears
complete
that
the
invaders'
optional,
tunnel is dangerously
you
unstable.
just need to kill a couple of these exploding barrel kobolds in the tunnel. So we just gotta wait for the next one to spawn in. And then it will give you that completion there.
Crushing everything inside. No more Droam troops will enter the palace by this route.
Alright, so from this point, we're just gonna head back and head on west. Alright, so again we want to head right to complete, left, these will just be that kobold that had slammed the gate on us earlier. Now if you want to use attacks that go through doors, definitely can. You can actually also shoot them as the space is high enough for your attacks to get through. Not high enough, however, for them to actually get through. And heading over here, we do have a lever to pull, which will change the position of the gate. It's also a one-time only pull lever, so if you had not come this way and they will not raise the gate, meaning if you pull this, it will close the gate and it will be permanently closed. So the gate, having the gate open is definitely handy, as it's a quick way from the start to the end of the quest. So through this set of doors here, we are actually at the end of the quest. So it gives us a little bit of a shrine before we get started. Now in order to go to the end fight, you want to climb the ladder. Just head on through our grate. The easy way is to target the grate and just use like Q and E to port yourself through. Once you port through, while you're standing in this little bit of water, you're free to move around. So you can grab breakables, you can do all that, again, while standing in this pool of water. The moment you leave this pool of water, the fight will activate. Now, personally, I like to free the guards and give them a little bit of a buff. Just causing a little extra distraction. The other thing to point out, on the western wall here, right near that enemy with the lever there, it'll actually open up a mirror on the wall. Now, as she is a Medusa, it is a nice little mechanic. If she looks at herself in the mirror, she will actually temporarily turn herself to stone, allowing you to do a little bit of additional damage. But anyway, let's get this party started. So as we run in, they're gonna talk. She's gonna start the fight. Again, I recommend fighting on this corner here. That way you can drag the enemies and have them, or have her rather, get turned to stone. So here she comes. She's got to come a little bit closer.
The Medusa gasps in horror.
There she goes.
As she catches a glimpse of herself in the mirror.
And then if you happen to have adamantine type damage reduction, you'll actually bypass her damage reduction. And after a time, it will close the door on her. All you gotta do is reopen the door,
The Medusa
and
falls,
she
doom
can
the Drone's attack
be turned
on
to
the
stone.
palace to failure. You've stopped their plans for now, but the Monster Nation will surely return to threaten Stormreach again.
Alright. And that's it for the quest. Super simple again. The boss fight is honestly the hardest part, but fighting up against the western wall, using the lever to open up the side for the mirror. Now I do want to point out the eastern side does also have a lever. However, this one has an alcohol shelf, not a mirror. So fighting there won't actually give you any edge. So make sure you fight on the western wall. And that's it for this chain. This chest here can again have some named items. One of them being a hand wrap, which is actually a fairly decent one to have. It's the stone dust hand wraps, which can be upgraded throughout the same method as that Catra's Wit as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining. That has been the Diplomatic Impunity chain. Hope you guys enjoyed, and look forward to seeing you guys again. Have a good one, all.